Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to work with equivalent fractions. And I want to point out first what this word equivalent means. I'm going to highlight the first two letters. Hopefully that reminds you of something. And the word that jumps into my mind is equal. Can you see how equal? And equivalent both start with EQU. That helps me remember that equivalent means a fraction that's equal. Let's take a look at one. In this problem, 1/6 is equal to another fraction. And the fraction that we need to figure out has a denominator of 12. So they gave us part of it. Now we can do this if we have the numerator. Remember, numerator starts with an N, and like a name, it goes at the top. Like a name would go on the top of your paper. Numerator, like name, top, and the denominator goes in the bottom because D, which denominator starts with, stands for down. Okay, so they gave us the denominator, and we can figure out what the numerator is just by knowing the denominator. So, if we want to find out an equivalent fraction for 1/6 that has a denominator of 12, or in other words, we want to find a fraction with the denominator of 12 that's equal to the fraction 1/6, what we need to do is multiply, or we can think of division too. So I would think to myself, what times 6, or 6 times what, is equal to 12? And in that blank, hopefully you would put 2. 6 times 2 is equal to 12. Now here's the rule. For fractions that are equivalent or equal, we need to do the same to the numerator or the top. Remember name, numerator, top of the paper goes on top. So since I multiplied the denominator times 2, I'm going to multiply the numerator by, you guessed it, 2. So 1 times 2 is equal to 2. So an equivalent fraction for 1/6 is, say it with me, 2/12. Now I can show this with a picture, and sometimes you're just going to get fractions like 1/6 and fractions like 2/12. And you'll be asked, are those equivalent fractions? Are those two equal? Well, you can find out by drawing. And the way you do that is to draw two shapes like I have that are exactly the same. And then you want to show them. So I'm going to split my shape into 6 parts. 1, 2, 3. Now this is the part that's tricky, so just do your best. 4, 5, 6. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts that are pretty much equal. And 1/6 would be like right here. Okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to divide this other shape into 12. And again, the tricky part is just drawing it, so do your best. So again, I need to have 12 parts this time. So I'm coloring in 2 of 12. Now when I look at this, is 1/6, this top shape, equal to 2/12? And we would say, oh yeah, they take up the same amount of space. They are equal, or they are equivalent. And that's how you can figure out, if you just have two fractions, if they're equivalent.